Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, salutations. To the hopeful elect Akim pushing this word with truth and sincerity. And Shalom. To the multitude of the hopeful elect, the sincere Akim Wa Akwath subscribing to this truth. This is the brother Karatazah of Men of Valor Las Vegas camp, coming back with another lesson. Lord willing to be edifying, just going through the spirit. Going to hit pretty much just a quick exhortation, to keep pushing, through the refinement, all right, through the hell that you may be catching, and motivate brothers to get through the thick of it, all right. Which this truth, and being in this truth, and walking this righteous path, following after Yahweh Shem Shai isn't the easiest thing to do. But when you set your mind to it and seek after wisdom, hey, it's once you have the wisdom instilled with you, I don't see how other men or people that fell out the truth, it's hard to even think that that's an option, because it's not. For those of the elect that are sincere, that are a sincere part of the hopeful elect, hey, we can't go back. All right. But hey, Satan always trying to sift you. Okay. This is going to be Luke 17:32. It says, remember Lot's wife. All right. And Lot's wife, looked back on the wickedness of Sodom. All right. And there, when Lot was told by that angel not to look back. Okay. She looked back on the wickedness and what? Got turned into a pillar of salt. Okay. Pretty much that similitude, with the elect. We can't look back at the former things that we once were a part of. We can't let that get a hold of us, because that old life ain't even there no more. All right. The mirth of this place here in Babylon the Great is gone. Okay, verse 33 says, whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it, making our lives a living sacrifice, for Yahweh Shem Shai on this side, okay, saves us from the upcoming destruction. Clinging on to this life, pretty much you're on a highway to hell. You want to fast track to seeing a ICBM missile get dropped on you. Okay, but seeking after the Lord, and forsaking Babylon the Great customs that you were once a part of, sacrificing the little things that we know don't please Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, giving those things up and taking the oath to not only serve Him but being an example, for the rest of the nation to follow after. All right, and that's what's gonna preserve you if you are predestinated for that election. Okay. Because we can't make you a part of the elect just, by hearing this truth. All right, the Lord got to work, on your spirit. Okay, but first you got to go through, the refinement, which we all, brothers and sisters alike, are being refined for the day Yahweh Shai returns. Okay. Sometimes that refinement, that chastisement, is what leads to brothers and sisters alike being cast out from the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Shemi Al Shai. All right, and let's actually get an example, as it says that in Hebrews. It also says it in Wisdom of Solomon, but I'll quote it real quick. It says, "Wisdom cannot enter a malicious soul." All right, so the true spirit of Yahweh Shemi Al Shai is wisdom, and that spirit, cannot, rest with, a member who's not of the elect in these times. All right. It'll eventually, it'll eventually do this. It'll bring the true spirit and true nature of that man or woman out. For the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of the soul and spirit and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. So when we prophesy on the highways and byways, this truth, is either a blessing and sweet to the ears of the listener, or it's hate, it's, evil, it's wicked. Okay. But let's go back and, this comes with knowing, what you're a part of. As Yahweh Shai, as we started out, it said, remember Lot's wife, Lot looking back, to that old life it was in the midst of being destroyed. She knew it was being destroyed behind her, but wanted to go back. Okay? And likewise, Sakia, Yahweh Shai said this. And Yahweh Shai, Luke 9:62, it says, "And Yahweh Shai said unto him, No man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High." Okay, if you put your hand to the plow, if you're going to work, all right? One reason that being, if you look up, what a plow looks like, okay, you would be tripping over it, or you stumble and it ain't going to work out. You can't work the plow and be looking back at the same time. Likewise, this truth. You can't be in this truth and trying to reach for, all these goals and accolades of this life. First reason being this world is against the testimony of Yahweh Shemi Al Shai, first and foremost, because they don't want to see this world get destroyed. All right? If you love the world, you can't love Yahweh Shemi Al Shai. It says that in Revelations, the 12th chapter, so those that have victory love not their lives. Doesn't mean that we don't love ourselves, just that we don't have cares for, the way this life is conducted, all right, through the philosophies of Esau, Edom, all right, the wicked ruler of this world, man. There's so much better things, and we haste for those good things to come, which starts with, Yahweh Shai's return and restoring order to the world the right way, and righteousness. But if you looking back on the, and constantly wanting to be a part of Babylon the Great, hey, you're not fit for the kingdom. Okay? Because, hey, this walk, well, I'll say here, hey, this life is, this world is through, man. The fashions of this world, pass on. And this was just a I'll read it here in 2 Corinthians 4:18. While we look not at the things which are seen, the things which are seen is this current life that we see, but at the things which are not seen, which that is the kingdom. Okay? The blessings that the Lord has given to Israel. All right? Our redemption. We trust in, our Lord and Savior, and that He's going to redeem us by these, heavenly things, i.e., the chariots of Israel. It says, which are seen, for the things which are seen are temporal. This life, okay, the manner, going to 9 to 5, so on and so forth. But the things which are not seen are eternal. And hey, as it says in the book of Daniel, our rulership, we're going to rule for an eternity. It says in the kingdom, in verse 27, in the kingdom and dominion and greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints, that's the Israelites, of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him. Obey Yahweh Shemel Shai. Okay? And that's what we have to look forward to. Okay, so that's what, the focus and the goal is, right? But to obtain that, we must go through, wisdom. And it says in the 8th chapter, Wisdom of Solomon, I believe that's the 6th chapter. Let me just go to it. This is Wisdom of Solomon 6:20. Therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. Okay, if you desire wisdom, that bringeth to a kingdom. All right, and wisdom is going to work you out, man. And know when you came into the truth and you found the goodness and glory of it. Hey, know the affliction that you will have to, count that cost. Hey, ultimately, we asked Yahweh Shem Shai for this because we saw that this is the only way out. This is the only thing that can redeem us, man. This is our inheritance. But, making that oath to serve Yahweh Shem Shai, hey, we asked for that chastisement. Hey, because this is what we want to get back to that first estate. All right. It says, if your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom that ye may reign forevermore. So there you go. Let's go here to show you that, hey, it ain't just going to come to you and you ain't going to be, actually, I'm going to get this in the GNT. It's sweet. Hey, this truth is what? Sweet and bitter. All right. But ultimately, our chastisement is for the betterment of ourselves. Hey, it's the cost. All right. And we have to, watch the brother that we have to embrace the pain, man. Those that are acceptable in the eyes will go through that furnace of affliction in the eyes of the Lord, man. This is a Wisdom of Solomon 4, and I'm going to start at 15 in the GNT. It says, those who obey her will give sound judgments. Those who pay attention to her have true security, right? That strong tower. All right. Put your trust in wisdom, and you will possess her and pass her on to your descendants. At first, wisdom will lead you along difficult paths. All right? Ain't no easy way into the kingdom. It says with much tribulation we enter into the kingdom. That's what I believe Paul said that. She will make you so afraid that you will think you cannot go on. All right? She will make you so afraid that you think you cannot go on. But guess what? We have Yahweh Shem Shai. We have prayer, and that's who we're supposed to turn to when things get too difficult. Let me read this and then I'm going to go there. It says, the discipline she demands will be tormenting, and she will put you to the test with her requirements until she trusts you completely. Then she will come, and only then she will come to you with no delay, reveal her secrets to you, and make you happy. And that's ultimately the Lord giving us the prophecies and the gospel, the fullness of the gospel, because that's when you feel alive, right? When you understand the times that we're in, especially being so close to the end, as we're seeing this, WW3 pop, get closer. Hey, and when that gets closer, hey, guess what? The MOTB is closer. And guess what? Yahweh Shai's return is closer. But the other things as well, persecution, everything that we must go through to enter the kingdom. But we have the excitement that even though the rest of the world is falling apart, they don't have no hope to look to. All right? They don't have Yahweh, the key, all right, to our salvation to call upon. They don't have that true name. All right? And only the Israelites can call upon that name and if predestinated, will be saved. Okay? But when things get too tough, hey, we got to call on Yahweh Shem Shai. Brother just posted this precept too, Psalms 55 and 22. It says, cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. And that's right. And that's right. So, hey, what did it say? It says, you think you will not be able to go on. At first, wisdom will lead you along difficult paths. She try you by crooked ways. She will make you so afraid that you will think you cannot go on. That's why you got to have the fear of the Lord, man. The discipline she demands will be tormenting. And she will put you to the test with her requirements until she trusts you. All right? The more wisdom you acquire, hey, the more torments you go through, because that's another, that's another level of wisdom you're entering into. Hey, Yahweh Shem Shai trust you with the basics? Can he trust you with more? At the same time, Satan, doing you like Job. Oh, I take all his other thing, but let me afflict his body, see if he's still calling you, Yahweh Shem Shai. Let me see if he's still calling, if he's still, what he think of you after I get to, his flesh. And I had a couple more precepts, but kind of drawing a blank right now. So Slakia, 2 Timothy, probably just close out here. 2 Timothy 2 and 3 says, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. No man, Slakia, it came back to me. Because one of the topics that I was thinking of is that, hey, we, pretty much asked for this. We asked, to be taken out of this low state being, In a bad case, once we realize who we were, you know, the blessing that the Most High has for us, the elect woke up and said, hey, do this. This is we need that. Okay. So we can't look back. We have nothing to look back to. This is Micah 7:9. I will bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him. And, we're all guilty of that. Until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me, he will bring me forth to the light, this truth, to Yahweh Shemel Shai, back to righteousness, and I shall behold his righteousness. All right? But we have to bear that indignation. Okay? Which, that's righteous anger from Yahweh Shemel Shai. Okay? So know that it's just not, woe is me, why am I going through this, man? No, we all deserve it. But the elect is going to be refined and purged in the furnace of affliction instead of getting burnt up by a missile. We have glory to look through being, Lord willing, we be a part of the first fruits. We want our name written, in the book of life, but we want our name written as that we were those guys. That fame, as it speaks about, I believe that's the second Esdras, in the early chapters where it talks about the fame of the prophets. That they would be sent back again. This is going back to 2 Timothy 2. Now I could close out. 2 and 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai Mashiach. No man that worth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. All right? And that's all we want to do, is please Yahweh Shemel Shai. And that's, hey, we're going to have ups and downs in this truth. It's going to feel like you can't go on, but you have the body. You have Yahweh Shemel Shai right there. All right? You have the comfort of the Holy Spirit to guide us and always bring us back to that light. As long as we don't, go astray. As long as we don't go too far, too far left. As long as we have that spirit on us. So Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakakwadash. Shalom to the elect.